What are the laws for tipped employee wages? Imagine working hard all night and knowing that your tips could make up a big part of your paycheck. But how exactly are these wages protected by law? That's what we're here to find out. Federal law, under the Fair Labor Standards Act, allows employers to pay tipped employees a minimum cash wage of just $2.13 per hour. That's a tiny base, but it's okay because tips are supposed to fill the gap. The law says that when you add your tips to your cash wage, your total should be at least the federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour. The difference between the two is called the tip credit. Employers can claim a tip credit of up to $5.12 per hour. This means they don't have to pay you the full minimum wage directly, as long as your tips make up the difference. But if your tips and cash wage don't reach the minimum, your employer must pay you enough to make up that shortfall. Employers must tell tipped workers about the tip credit system before they start working under it. They also need to keep accurate records of all tips received. Tips belong to employees unless there's a lawful tip pooling arrangement where everyone shares tips fairly. Regular payroll checks are necessary to ensure wages meet legal standards and that tips are properly recorded. States and local governments often set higher minimum wages and stricter rules. For example, in New York, tipped workers might have a higher minimum cash wage and tip credit limits depending on where they work. Some places, like the District of Columbia, have a tipped minimum wage of $10 per hour, which is higher than the federal standard. Employers in these areas must also make sure that non-tipped work hours do not interfere with tip credit eligibility. In Illinois, the minimum wage is $15 per hour, and employers can pay tipped employees 60% of that as a base wage. The rest is expected to come from tips. Illinois also has rules for disabled workers who might be paid less under federal certificates. All these laws are designed to protect workers from being underpaid while recognizing tips as a vital part of their income. Employers need to track wages and tips carefully, notify employees about policies, and keep proper records. If they don't follow these rules, they could face wage claims, fines, or legal action. In short, laws about tipped employee wages requiring employers to pay at least a minimum cash wage, use tip credits only up to the legal limit, and ensure total earnings meet or exceed minimum wage standards. They must inform workers about these policies, keep accurate tip records, and follow state and local rules. These laws help make sure tipped workers are paid fairly and their rights are protected.